I'm sorry, what?
Ooh. All right. I am here today. Unfortunately, Sabrina's internet once again exploded. This has happened like 3 times now. Poor thing. I guess she just lives in that part of Germany that doesn't believe in internet or something. I have no idea. And we are here today with our wonderful guest, Chaotinja Cosplay, and we will be discussing. It's she her, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, her wonderful top 10 ghost song list. So I guess we could start off with number 10. What is your number 10?
To be honest, my number 10 is Stay. Um,
Ooh.
because I do have one big core memory with it. Like I am a huge Insidious fan, and my best friend is also. So as soon as we heard that, well, Ghost is doing the title music for it, we were like, okay, we have to go to the cinema. And we were sitting in the cinema just waiting for the cutscene for the credits to come. And we're sitting there like with our ghost shirts and ghost caps and stuff like that. And we're crying badly with the song and we're singing along, and everybody in the cinema was like, what is wrong with those two? And we were like, we are in our fields, just leave us be. So to be honest, this is why it is on my list, because it really was a core memory for me with my bestie sitting in that cinema, hearing the song, because it was like when I was watching back then Halloween, I didn't even notice that the song was from Ghost, because I wasn't into Ghost back
Oh,
then.
really?
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's a good song, and I didn't even Google or anything. And then afterwards, I was like, how the hell did I not notice that this was from Ghost? But since I wasn't in the fandom back then, it's Stay for me now.
I absolutely love that song. I love the Patrick Wilson version. He just has amazing vocals. But I
Yes.
also do enjoy the like the vinyl, like the little 7-inch that they released with just
Mhm.
Cardinal Copia. Um,
It's both
yeah,
awesome, but I really love the version as well with Patrick Wilson, because he
yes.
has such a beautiful voice. Like, how can someone be so talented as an actor and a singer?
And be beautiful. It like
Yes,
stop it, Patrick.
not fair.
No, save some for the rest of us, dude. Um, I do remember, I know Sabrina's in here, but I know she has a funny story with that. She has never seen any of the Insidious films or like anything of that. And I remember she went to the movie theater just to hear that song.
No
and
way.
and I get a message from her, and she's like, Jillian, I had to go to the bathroom. I have no idea what the fuck is going on in this movie. It's so long, and I just want to hear the song. and,
Yeah.
and the funny thing is, she doesn't like the song. She sat through that whole movie. She doesn't even like it.
No, oh
I
no, that's
know.
unfortunate.
I
But the
know.
thing is, the films. Honestly, I am a huge horror movie enjoyer, and
Me too.
so for me, the films were all really good, and yeah, it was just an add-on that Ghost made a song for this one. So for me, it was crystal clear to go into the cinema and also listen to that song, and I was like, I remember how my bestie and I were sitting there, like looking at the people already going down the stairs out of the cinema, and we were
Wait,
like, oh,
stay.
no way, what
Stay.
are you doing?
Yeah. Oh man, what a great choice! And we have not had anybody say stay yet. So hell yeah, great number 10. um, number 9. What's your number 9?
um well, we get into the more deeper ones with that. For me, it's See the Light,
Oh,
because well, I love the meaning of the song, and it just feels like when I am in a bad mood and I feel like everybody is against me, then I listen to that song and it's like pushing me up again and saying, "Hey, you can do it. You can get your energy out of the negativity that people have against you or against everything." So this is why it's number 9 for me.
I love that reason. I really do like the song. I love it when he says, when he rolls his R's, when he says drink me, like drink me.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think it's a really underrated song. I think most of the songs on Prequel are a little underrated. But yeah, great choice, dude. Love that
Yeah.
one.
I just love it.
Yeah. Um, what is your number 8?
Number 8 is Spillways.
Yes.
The reason is well, honestly, I do love the movie, the music video.
Yeah.
It's great, but also like the way it begins and when Copia or well, yeah, Tobias starts to sing, the way his voice is kind of a bit hoarse or a bit raw. Well,
Yes.
I just love that, and I always melt away because I am like, how is he even? How is it possible that he has sometimes such a crystal clear voice and then it comes back and being that raspy, like smoky thing? I
Yes.
just love that.
Yeah. I love the difference of what he does for each character, like vocal wise, but
Mhm.
it's so interesting to hear him in the Terzo era because it's so clear. But I just love the raspy hoarseness that is apparent through Impera.
Yeah.
So I'm with. I love Spillways. I love the way it sounds. I thought the music video was beautiful.
I
Um,
also love the behind the scenes of the video because it's just
yes,
like being so creative with the camera always spinning around and it's just great. I love it.
it reminds me of that sound by on TikTok. I'm spinning around like a
Yeah.
ballerina.
Someone should do an edit of that.
They should get
Never
to
see
it,
that.
TikTok. But like so beautiful. I love it when he's up. Oh man, I forget the word for it, but he's like up in that little tower, like looking down at you and he's singing.
Yeah, I cannot hold myself.
Do you like the Joe Elliott version that they released last year?
Well, it's okay, but I go with the original.
Of course. Yeah. um, Another reason I really like that song is there's a little piece of it um, before the last chorus when it slows down and it goes do do do. And every time I hear it, I always say Pokemon.
No, and now I cannot unhear it anymore. But
I'm so sorry.
but to be honest, in the end, it's also the meaning of the song. It's just well, the more you listen to it, the more you think about it, it's getting deeper and deeper, and I really like that.
Yeah, it's so cathartic to sing as well, like at the top of your lungs in the car.
Yeah, you can just scream it out, and everybody around is like, yeah, everybody's like, what's wrong with her? What is she doing? And I'm just like living my life. Like
I'm in
me.
my moment. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Exactly like this.
And seeing it, you saw the movie, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so I loved seeing him perform it. He also got one of the lyrics wrong. Classic Tobias.
Yes. Oh my god. And I was
You
like,
want to brush it off?
my brain was like, am I wrong? Or is the lyric wrong now?
Same. I like almost gaslit myself. I'm like, did he get that wrong or am I singing it wrong?
Yeah,
What just happened?
that was the same for me. I was like, did he do it wrong? Was I doing it wrong all the time? And I was like, no, no, it must be him.
Yeah, so I saw the movie 4 times, and the third and fourth time, my mission was find every single time he got a lyric wrong. And I counted a few.
A few. I just noticed the one in Spillways.
um, oh God, what was it? What was the other song? I think he got something wrong, and he is. He also, his voice cracked really bad, and they tried to cover it up, and he is. I can't wait to hear that on it's like the infamous part in He Is where his voice always cracks.
Hmm.
Um,
Need to listen
but
to that closely again.
I know in a couple weeks they're gonna release it. I want them to release it now so I
Well,
can listen to it.
there were rumors that it would be released on the 8th of July. On
Oh yeah, so you said Disney Plus.
Yeah, so he's a Disney princess now, obviously.
Oh my god, yes. Now I need a Papa in his year zero garb, like with like a little cardinal in his hand, looking like a Disney princess.
And that would be great. So, out to the artist out there, do
I'll do
something like that. I would
it.
buy stickers of that.
Me too. um, so I think we're on number 7. What is your number
Yes.
7?
It's Kaisarion. Um,
Hmm.
just because of one reason, and nobody convinced me otherwise. There is no better song for an opener on a concert than Kaisarion from no band in this world. There is no better song. It is just like when you hear Imperium and then the beginning of Kaisarion, it's just so bombastic. Like when I saw
Yes.
Ghost Life for the first time, it was that tour. And when the curtain fell down, I was like shook. Then it was over. And my husband also got it because he was standing behind me and he was like, "Yeah, now she's a goner." I was like, "I am a goner now." And from there on, I was just obsessed. So it because it just took me right away.
Yeah. I think Sabrina would wholeheartedly agree with you. She loves Kaiserion. She thinks that it's the best opening. Like she would want to see it in other films. Like she just thinks that that opening riff of the guitars, the power of it, and I like the word that you use, bombastic. Like it, it's almost like when you're listening to Opus and the first song is a hymnal, and then the
Mhm.
second one is Conclavi Condio, and it's like in your face and yeah, perfect. I love that choice. It's a
Also,
song. Yeah.
it's another car thingy, because when it starts and this high, and I will not do it because everybody will get deaf afterwards, but this high note is always like crazy. You can go crazy with that. Even though you cannot sing, just go crazy with it because it just feels good.
Yes. Yeah. Tobias was having his Whitney Houston moment, hitting or like Mariah Carey, like that was his whistle note.
Yeah, it's I guess it's Beyonce and Mariah Carey and every like diva singing musician out there, Cher as well, Madonna, all
Yes.
of them put together in that one noise.
Damn, I love it. Yeah, it's a really fun song. Um, yeah, that's a great number 7. What's your number 6?
Well, it's a classic. Can you guess?
A classic one. They play it at every ritual, correct?
Yes,
Is it ritual?
it is Ritual.
Oh, hell yeah.
Coincidence, it's on number 6. Yeah, it's well, there is no reason behind it. It just has a vibe for me, to be honest. Just I just like the flow of the song. Also,
Yeah,
well, the meaning of it. Well, it just describes ghost for me. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's the vibe.
It's quintessential Ghost, and it will never leave the playlist or the set list. I mean, we call the concerts rituals. Like it's ritual. Um, I love that song. It's so much fun.
And also, like in the Copia era, the whole performance on stage is I just love it.
Yeah,
It's great.
I love it when he belts out that last note, and I believe it's Soto who steps in front of him and just does the guitar solo, and then he looks at him. He's like, "What the fuck, dude? You
Yeah,
steal my thunder."
just go away.
Yeah, I'm trying to have my Beyonce moment, and you just step in front of me.
Yeah, it's just the whole performance and the vibe of the song is just well positive for me, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I have not met a Ghost fan yet who doesn't like Ritual. Even though Opus is my least listenable album, I will say. Uh, Even though it didn't even make my top 10, I think Ritual is one of the best songs for quintessential Ghost.
But to be honest, it's not that easy to get like 10 songs that are the
Oh, it's so good.
because you just mentioned Conclavi con Dio, and I was like, damn, yeah, that was something.
Yeah,
Because but to be honest, I in that case, I really like honestly, I'm a copia girl.
me too.
But when it comes to Conclavi con Dio, I get a Secondo girl. I don't
Oh,
know why. It's just the vibe, how he performs. Conclavi con Dio as the Condo is so different that I really like
yes.
it.
Yeah. He makes it darker and more alluring. Like, I don't even know, because it's such a. We just recorded a huge Opus episode yesterday, and um, Secondo's vibes for like just performing it fit that song better out of
Yeah,
all the papas.
yeah,
And I had this discussion, I think, with Sabrina the other day. There are certain songs from different albums that I think fit with different papas way better. Like, I think most people can agree Gigolo, Har, Megadoo is very terzo. Like,
yes. Yeah,
yeah,
I do agree. I
love
do
that
agree.
song. Um, so what is your number 5?
Um, it's Deus in Absentia.
Ooh,
Yes.
love that song.
Um, well, obviously it's because of the meaning as well. Just because, mm, well, the meaning of the title itself is something that I can relate to.
Mhm.
Like when you turn to belief and God and Satan and stuff like that, it's sometimes that you feel that you need someone who's not there, who's just absent. Um, Sometimes you have the feeling there is someone, and sometimes you don't. And I wasn't well, when I was a child, I wasn't like raised in a really religious way or so.
Mhm.
But still, we had like in school we had lessons about religion, and also um well, in Germany we have stuff that we do as traditions from the church, and I also did that. But the older I got, the more I had the feeling that God wasn't there, that He was just
Yeah.
absent for me. And also, I don't want to talk too much about religion, but the thing is that I always had the feeling that there was another strength that was driving me that I couldn't really have a grip on, and you can call it fate or I don't know, but for me it wasn't God who was laying a hand on me. So I can really feel that song personally.
I love that explanation. I think that's really beautiful. And I think it's something that a lot of us can relate to because, like you, I wasn't raised super religious either. We, growing up, we watched a lot of these videos called Veggie Tales. And it's a bunch of talking vegetables and fruits who do silly songs and reenact movies, but at the very end they give you like a Bible message.
Yeah,
It's
great.
very American. But yeah, and growing up, like it's easy, since I was very young, taking a look at the world and thinking, is there a God? Like, look how horrible everything is. Look at stuff in my life. Look at the world. And yeah, the song is really powerful that way. But it's also comforting um, because it's almost coming from a perspective that relates to you, the listener. And the ending of the song is really beautiful as well, how it goes into like a somber choir.
Yeah.
which I love that. I think that's quintessential Ghost, and I think that's something that was missing on Impera for me personally. Um, but I really love your explanation of that, and we could talk about it for hours. I don't care. I'm fine with just talking about religion. It's ghost related.
It is, and I don't want to step on someone's feet with it because everybody has their religion, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, and that's great. It's just that this this song just got me personally because I was questioning not so much God, but the church itself as an
Oh yeah.
institution. And so this was really like, uh, if there is a God, how is it even possible that he lets these things happen? Like his institution that stands for him, for his moral and his rights, how can they act like they do act? And that's the thing that the song has me thinking about every time I listen to it, because just the fact that there is sometimes double standards when it comes to the church, um yeah, has me thinking about it and always like rethinking, am I wrong with my thinking? Am I well, maybe do I have to change my thinking as well? In the end, as I said it before, I don't want to step on someone's feet. So if you believe in God, if you believe in church, and go to church, go to church if it helps you and if you feel comfortable with it. It's just not personally for me in that
Yeah.
case.
Um, I will say I don't listen to a lot of the songs on Meliora, but I really do love the general theme of the album, which is
Mhm.
questioning these churches, questioning the I forget the word for it, but like the system,
Yeah.
and looking at it like God is absent in these. What are we believing in? And it's like the struggle within that. And that's one of the things I really do love about Meliora, and I really do love about that song. Um, because it's looking at like the higher powers in every perspective and questioning it, and I think that's only a natural thing for humans to do. Um, but like you said, like peace and love, everybody just do what you want, just leave me out of it. you
Yeah,
know?
it's like that. Just do what makes you happy, and
Yeah.
but please also accept what others do. So
Mhm. Yeah. Um, what is your number 4?
yeah, and now comes the song that kicked out my number 10 beforehand, which was not a really popular choice, I guess, but it was a the best beforehand.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, so every song that we had before just came
shifted
one,
up one.
yeah, shifted downwards a bit
Yeah.
because number 4, and I really had a hard time putting those songs into order that are
Yes.
coming now, that because it's getting really hard for me. But on number 4 is now, not a surprise, The Future is a Foreign Land.
Yes.
Um,
Love that.
if we think about, and I don't know how much you know in America, but I guess you are also like in a pretty similar situation when it comes to politics. And
Yes.
we are getting into the problematic topics now. I'm sorry for that. But
Girl, go for it. That's what this is about. You're totally
um, like when we look also at the situation here in Germany when it comes to politics, we can see that history is repeating itself, and I am really worried about that. So when I heard this song in the movie, I couldn't even really listen to the lyrics at the moment, but looking at the pictures, I already knew or had a grip
fine.
on what was said in the song. So this was like, okay, I need to listen closely to that one because there is a meaning behind it. And if you listen closely, or not so closely to be honest, you already get that there's a huge meaning behind it. And from my perspective, I really hope that sometimes in a really near future, the sooner the better, we will get rid of all those problematic stuff where we all just say, I am better than you, or you are not better than me, or anything like that, because we are all, or we all should be equal in the end. And that's just a fact. Just because I am born in a certain country or in a certain religion doesn't mean that I am better than anybody else.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
this is why I really like that song. And also, I had my friends a little bit disturbed because I am always watching like true crime
Love that stuff.
TV shows, and I can remember that there was one episode about well, where it's a true crime, so I get into a little bit of detail now. Um, where it was about someone who was burned to death. So they just got into a fire, and they were talking about the well, pretty detailed, the specifics on how long it takes for people or for a person to die in a fire. And I just remember that the police officer said in a normal fire, like a normal household where it burns, it takes about 1 minute for a body to be that damaged
Yeah.
to die. And when I heard that song and I listened closely, I was like, are you for real now? And I dropped that fact to my friends, and they were like, no way.
That just gave me chills. Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it
That
was like
adds
that.
up.
It was like that for them as well. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to break your world, but I had to get that out.
Yeah, I actually kept wondering the whole time. I'm like, is he referencing like an atomic bomb or something? Like, uh, will the impact take a minute to get to us, and then we perish? But the fact that you said that, like, that clicks. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, I hope that wasn't too specific for some of the
No,
listeners,
it's
but
perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole world sees what's going on in America right now. We just had our presidential debate, which was the biggest joke in the world. Um, so, and also being somebody who is very obsessed with the history of American politics. When I was watching the credit scene, I was like, oh, Jonestown Massacre. Oh, he mentioned the Kennedys. I
mhm.
was really big into the Kennedys have like this, they call themselves Camelot. So I love learning about the Kennedys. Uh, I wrote like a 20-page paper in high school about JFK's assassination. So, I loved all of his references in the song itself and making it feel nostalgic. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if it's also like being a millennial or being an American or, just the whole world is fucked right now in general. There's a comfort in the doom. I don't know. It's just it's been happening so long. Everything's cyclical. Everything's getting worse. And then we're kind of waiting for the bomb to drop, so to speak. But that last whole chorus of the song is so hopeful, and it heals my heart when he says, if it all burns down. And no matter if it does or if it doesn't, we'll still have each other. And I just thought that song was beautiful, and it deserves to be in a top 10. I know Sabrina kicked off Ritual and put that song on her top 10. uh, yeah.
Yeah, that's relatable. Well, honestly, I just hope that it comes true that it doesn't happen, and that we will just see a
Yeah.
future where all this horrific stuff that's about to happen or that's happening is not happening anymore. I really hope that for the future of humanity,
Yes.
because it's just sometimes I think it's just ridiculous on what we are doing to each other because of nothing. There
Mhm.
is, for me, in my opinion, there is no reason to fight against someone else just
Nope.
because of land or I don't know whatsoever, religion or whatsoever. Just let everybody be like they want to be.
Yeah.
It's
It
not that difficult.
it's not really like in our everyday interactions with people, it's so easy, but it's the systems of which every country is built upon and the people in power who are just destroying the world, and it feels a little nihilistic to a point. I will say, being the perspective of an American, it feels a little nihilistic that it doesn't matter because I can't do anything in a grand scheme of things. And watching things unfold, it's really overwhelming. Like living, I would say since 2020, it's just gotten really overwhelming
Yeah.
to be a part of the world. Um, but the movie, I really liked what he said, and it ties in with the song. We live right here, right now. Let's just kind of tune
Yeah.
everything out and focus on this, and it'll all be okay.
Like also what he said in his little speech before, if you have ghosts, was really beautiful. Like
Yes.
just said, yeah, okay, there will be days where you will be sad, and that's normal and it's fine, because sometimes you just question yourself, like, is it normal to be sad about things? Or shall I be happy all the time just because society asks me to be happy?
Mhm.
So I really like that one. And this is also something that I generally like about Ghost and also about Tobias, because he's like, it's fine if you don't feel well. And I remember when I was at the concert in Berlin last year that he was saying something like, well, you are all here, and I'm thankful that you're all here because I know that some of you really struggle to even get
Aw.
up. And I was like, oh man, he really understands how some of these people that are standing here feel. And I guess to a lot of these people, it meant the world that he said that.
Mhm.
And that makes a difference for them and also for me, that someone understands how we feel and that he is so close to his fans to understand how they are feeling, maybe, and also to see what his fan base is like um, made of.
Yeah.
Like that it's not like the people that are always genuinely happy and standing there, because I have the feeling, coming from another fandom of a band, not saying which one because I don't want to talk about that, but shifting to Ghost, I really had the feeling that the people there are firstly as persons more beautiful,
Mhm.
because they are more individualistic, also more diverse than in other fandoms, and also more understanding for the emotions of other people. And that was such a relief for me to find that there are also other people who care about each other,
Mhm.
um, who care also about strangers in fandoms standing around me on a concert, um, and not being pushy because they want to get in front of me. And that was such a relief that I really thought, wow, this feels like home.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the perfect word for it, because I was the same way. I really struggled with having friends, having quality friends who actually care about me. And the months leading up to getting into Ghost, like I was so depressed, I didn't want to talk to anybody, and nobody cared that I didn't want to talk to them because they didn't care. And feeling like an outcast for most of my life, and hearing that Tobias himself felt like that. You know, he's very raw in interviews. um, and then immediately joining the fandom, it felt like home, just as you said. I finally have friends. I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like there's a creative outlet. It really is everything all in one. And having him say that on stage. But actually, we just got done finishing an interview with Marilyn Facey, who plays Sister Imperator. And she went on and on about how Tobias, behind the scenes for everything, all the time, he's always like, well, the fans would prefer this, the fans want this. So to hear him say these things on stage, to hear that even in Opus Eponymous, the message of his music is like freedom and sexuality and, don't feel horrible about yourself. It just goes to show that he is a sweet being from the beginning. And that feels even more comforting as a fan, that I can trust that he feels the same way as us. And he's as creative as us, and he has felt like an outcast like us. Like, it really is comforting.
Don't make me cry.
I know, I'm trying not to cry too.
Oh, oh. No, I don't need a tissue. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. But to be honest, hearing that from someone who's so close to him, that he really cares about the fans, like the feeling that we all have,
Yeah.
that he does care for us, to have that also proved, as a fan feels good. I
Yeah.
have to say it feels good. And coming from a fandom where I know that the band, well, it was also part of the band not to get close to fans and stuff like this. Um, but it just feels different for me now to know that he genuinely cares for his fans and that
Mhm.
he is also thankful for everything it just it feels different from a fandom perspective as well.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love this fandom. I love meeting people in
But,
it.
but maybe we just go on with number three because number three is
Yes.
not so sad.
Number three.
It's Kiss the Go Goat.
Oh, hell yeah, I love that song.
Um, uh, I cannot even name a reason because well, when I came into the fandom and listened to Ghost more frequently, I just got a grip on that song and really listened like on repeat to that song. It was for month on my first plays in Spotify, and I was like, okay, yeah, well, it has to be on the list. It just has to be on the list. Yeah, it's Kiss the Go Goat because it has a vibe. It's just nice. Even though the things that happened weren't that nice, like eyeing Nihil here. Yeah, but in the end, it just has a vibe. It's just yeah, it's fancy dancing music for
Yeah.
me.
Shout out to Papa Nil for never missing. I mean, he did some of Future is a Foreign Land, but Mariana Cross and Kiss the Go Go fucking slap. And I personally, I love 1970s, 1960s disco dance music. I love that. So when I first heard Kiss the Go Goat as well, I was like, that slaps. I love that one. And I never skip it when it comes up on my playlist.
And it's also like the car ride song where you can just scream
Yes.
out your lungs like a maniac. It's just it's great. Also, Kiss the Go Goat is was one well, it was the main reason why I did a Nile cosplay.
I need to see this. I don't know if I saw that.
It's
Usually I
on
creep on our guests. So I creeped a little.
I have some ghost cosplays. So
um, so not to toot my own horn, but one of my favorite memories of a ritual I went to is I was at Barrier, and during Kiss the Go Go, Copia crumpled up a piece of mummy dust and threw it at me, and it did land on my titty. So
nice.
I have it. It's crumpled. I kept it.
I am a little bit jealous. Happy for you, but also a little bit jealous.
Thank you. I felt like, oh my god, he just threw money at me. Woo.
Throw more.
Yeah. But like he really had to throw it like in order to land on me.
But to be
Um,
honest, coming to the mommy dust dollars, I have to tell something about the fandom as well because
yes.
I am a late adopter.
Mhm.
I just say I'm a late adopter. I really came into Ghost last year after the Berlin ritual. And I went to a convention, Escopia, like an improvised closet cosplay, Escopia. I remember people at this convention. I was working as a volunteer at the convention as a at a certain booth,
Hmm?
and I remember that people were chasing me down to get a photo with me, and it was so great. And one of the gifts that someone gifted to me was a Mommy Dust dollar because I told them that I wasn't able to catch one because we were standing too much at the left, right in front of Phantom, and nothing flew at us, and so we didn't grab some. And that person said, "Hey, I have one in my wallet. There you go," and gifted it to me. And then the person was I was like, "Oh, that's so nice. Thank you." And my bestie was there as well. And well, they didn't get a mummy dust dollar as well. And I was like, yeah, do you still have some? Yeah, I have plenty. And they sent the person sent me via post mummy bucks so I could give it to my bestie. It was I was so overwhelmed by the love of those fans that I was just like, where the hell am I now? What is happening here?
That is so sweet.
To be honest, and big kudos to all those fans out there. That convention had me crying in the end of on Sunday because I got so many gifts. Someone drew me and gifted it to me. I got flowers from someone. I got so many gifts on that weekend because I was there as Copia. And I was like, what the hell is happening here? I never had that. Like I had attention for cosplays, yeah, because they were
Mhm.
like, hey, that looks nice, that looks cool. Um, but feeling that love
Yeah.
I've never witnessed before. And honestly, when we were building back our booth, I was standing there crying, and everybody from the team came to me and was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "No, it's happy tears. I'm just crying because I'm happy." And
Oh,
that's also a reason why I'm still so deep in that fandom because I really appreciate how people act with each other, and this is still a core memory to me, even though it's not well, to a certain song. But honestly, I had to say that because yeah, I hope some of the people who gave me gifts will hear it and remember that they are really special to me.
oh my gosh. Yeah. I love that story. It it really is so it's such a loving fandom, I will say. With everything, there are stinkers everywhere, but the general consensus is if you're feeling down, you can count on a Ghost fan to cheer you up. And um, yeah, I remember a few people, myself included, on Facebook. Some of the rituals here didn't even blow off cannons of mummy dust,
Oh
and
yeah, they were broken, right?
yeah, and last tour, there were actually a couple rituals that got canceled due to hurricanes.
Hmm.
And I remember somebody making a post on In Ghost We Trust, I believe. And they were like, okay, guesties, who has mummy dust? We want to set up a thing where we're sending every single person who wants one whose ritual got canceled because of the hurricanes. We want to send them stuff. We want to send them like little goodie bags. And that warmed my heart in general that the fandom stepped up to help these people who didn't get a chance to go because of the weather. And I know that Tobias probably saw that, and I hope he sees, because I think the fandom is also a reflection of him, and vice versa as well. Um, so it seeing stuff like that and hearing stuff like that, it's just comforting and knowing that I'm in the right place. I'm in the right
Home.
fandom.
Yeah, we're home.
Yeah. um, are we on number two?
Yes, we are on number two.
Ooh, what's your number two?
Um, okay, I really had a hard time on getting number two and number one
Yes.
in the right place, but I have them in the right order, I hope. Um, on number two, it's Bible.
Oh, Sabrina would love that answer.
To be honest, when I joined the fandom, everybody was like, "Yeah, that song is not good," and
Yeah,
I
I
was
shit on it a lot.
yeah, and I was I had never listened to it. And one day, out of nothing, I just decided, okay, I will add some songs that I never listened to from Ghost to my playlist now. Um, and Bible was one of it. And then I remember standing in the shower, listening to that song, and I was like, what is that? Listening, and out of nothing, I started to cry.
Oh,
Just because his voice touched me right in my feels, and I was like, why did I never listen to that song? What is wrong with me? And I was really regretting missing out on that one for such a long time. And then I listened to it frequently and just on repeat, on repeat. And today, like when I'm in the car with my friends, and we are always like, if you want to hear something, just say we will add it to the playlist. And I'm always like, it's currently 3 songs. They already know what to add when I ask for songs. It's The Future Is a Foreign Land, it's Bible, and my number 1, which I will not spoil beforehand.
um, I love that song. I think that's one of his best vocal songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I I usually skip it because it's a little too slow, but I'll tell you the time that it really changed my mind about the song. It was like rainy. I think I was driving to a funeral. It was rainy, it was dark, it was moody, I was sad, and it came up on my playlist, and it just hit. I think I cried too. It's a beautiful song, and it blows the original out of the water. That's
Yeah,
another reason I love Ghost, is that every time they do a cover, I think they just expand upon it and make it truly their own.
yeah,
And Bible is so beautiful.
it is, it is. It's just like, mm, sometimes people are saying that Tobias is not a good singer, or, well, you know what they are talking. I don't have to repeat that. And then I'm always like, you never listened closely. Just because he doesn't use it in all of his songs doesn't mean he cannot do it. And I remember one certain clip in the Terzo era where he was like having his Freddie Mercury moment on stage.
Yes.
You know that one? And
Mhm.
I am always like, he can. Just because he doesn't mean he cannot.
Yeah.
And
Um,
that song proves it for me.
oh yeah. Even in Kiss the Go-Goat, Sabrina says this all the time. Kiss the Go-Goat, he sings great, and he sounded amazing in the movie when he sang that song.
Oh, yes, he did.
Um, and I really hate it when people say that, because it's like, have you listened to Opus and have you listened to Impera? And his vocal ability has just grown
Oh, yeah.
substantially. And he has said that he doesn't take vocal lessons. I don't know if he does now. He may do like a lot of vocal exercise to preserve it. Um, but he can sing, and I will say, during the Terzo era, that is some of my favorite live vocals ever, because he lives in that Freddie Mercury moment. He hits those notes. Even I love it when he does the acoustic versions in the Terzo era,
Mhm.
because his vocals are so crisp and neat and beautiful, and he's a true artist. And it bothers me as well when people are like, he can't sing. He that's not him in Kaiserion. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yes, it is him, it is him. And also, I guess the music lessons or the singing lessons that he took, or exercises, I don't know, are the reason why he doesn't, perform Elizabeth anymore live, because I
Yeah.
remember, an interview where he said he cannot sing it like that anymore, because back then he was like an amateur, and today he's like a, well, Champions League. Um, so he's just not able to sing it like that anymore, and he doesn't want to disappoint the fans with a different performance. So for me, totally fine that I'm not going to see this live ever, but I really hope for Bible to see it live once.
Oh, at least one more time.
Yeah.
Um, but I think a lot of people need to keep in mind that his mouth is also under a mask, and
Yes.
he can't do stuff on stage like he does in the studio. Like, cut him some slack, people. Come on.
But without the mask, the magic would have been gone
Yeah, right.
as well.
It
So,
sometimes the last time I watched the movie, the 4th time, I actually sat there and I tried so hard to envision Tobias singing the songs, and I can't. I can't. I'm like, "That's
be,
copia."
yeah, because you can. I always have a hard time matching the papas with Tobias.
Yeah.
Um, e especially Terzo and Secondo are really hard for me. I guess but that's just a guess, and I don't know because I don't know him personally, but
Okay.
I guess Copia has most of him in his personality, like this playful, cheery, cheeky stuff as well. Um, but in the end, it's just not him. It's a
Right.
persona that he creates for a stage, which is really fine. And sometimes I really regret that we know who he is, who is
Right.
behind that mask, because um, well, on the one hand side, it's because of all those like scandalous stuff people are talking about, and the private life of them getting ripped out in
Yeah.
public, which honestly I don't like. I just want him to focus on his music and not on getting his public affairs right. Um, and still, I think the magic would have been there because I know my bestie is really into Sleep Token, and
Love Sleep
there,
Token.
yeah, and there mm, they don't say who they are, and that's something of the magic that is on stage. And um, I would wish for a Ghost to still have it sometimes,
Hmm.
even though I think I would be like, okay, I do want to know, but I do respect the wishes of the band if they don't want to tell. But still, I do wanna know, so
Right.
yeah, it will be, hard, but, yeah, it is what it is, so we have to live with what we have currently, but still, I really have a hard time comparing Tobias with the Papas. Sorry, it's always switching into English.
Oh, you're fine.
Um, Tobias with the Papas, because it's just he's these interviews are always so hilarious. I really have a good time watching them, and then there's this. I guess the condo is the hardest part because for me he's like so intimidating, and that's just not him. He's not intimidating.
And I cannot wait to see who the next front man will be, like what character. Um, I'm so excited to see what's going to happen next and how he will create, like what he will even create. That's going to be so much fun to witness in real time.
Yeah, I really hope for the bonus content to reveal
Yes.
something, and please don't push it back any further.
Oh man. Okay. Drum roll. What is your number one?
Shall I say right away, or do you want to guess?
Give me a hint.
Oh, is it a hint if I say I have a line tattooed on my thigh out of that song?
Oh.
Because it has a special meaning to me.
Is it, do like a lot of people love it, or is this something that is like not a lot of people like?
Oh, I guess a lot of people love it.
Is it Mariana Cross?
No, 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 it's
Oh.
not Mariana Cross. It's something that frequently makes women at barrier faint, I guess.
Oh my god. Oh, that could be any song. I fainted every song. Could it be Faith?
No, but I would faint at that as well.
Yeah, his growls
Thinking,
in
yeah,
it.
I was fainting in the cinema with the growl. I was like,
And I
help
can't
me.
wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it when it releases on the soundtrack. It's gonna be on repeat.
No, no, it's not Faith.
Oh man. Oh, Cerise.
Yes.
Duh, duh. Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, it is Cerise. And funny thing is I frequently listen to that song. Really frequently, and I never listened to the lyrics. Shame on me. And then one time I was cleaning my flat and I was listening to music and then listened really closely, and it hit me so hard. It hit me so hard that I started to cry right away, and I was like, shit. This is really something because well, some private things, but it's fine to say. Um, my whole life until well, I grew up, I would say, um, people told me that I am wrong. like that something's wrong with me personally, that I knew that I was different. I was someone who was, even in my teenage years, I was listening to metal music, wearing black, wearing gothy stuff, liking things that others in my age didn't like I was more into horror movies and stuff like that than being into like pink fluffy unicorns or anything like that. And everybody was like, yeah, you are kind of a nerd. And today I really say I am proud to be a nerd. I
Hmm.
am proud to be different, and it's fine to be different, and it's fine to be yourself and not to be as people want you to be, because it makes you unhappy. It really makes you unhappy. And this line, I know your soul is not tainted, even though you've been told so, it hits me so hard. Unfortunately, I didn't have any more space, so it's just I know your soul is not tainted on my leg with a huge Baphomet. Um,
Oh, cool.
which I did as a tribute to Ghost, because and it's funny because I'm just 1 year in the fandom, but well, as I said, I'm obsessed. Um, but it hit me so hard, and I thought, and I know that there are a lot of people who can relate to this. Um, this song was meant for people like me, for people who have um, struggled with their selves their whole life, where other people, strangers, were saying mean things about them. Um, and I really hope that most of the listeners are already realize that they are good as they are. And if not, listen to this song and notice that you are as good as you are, and you don't have to change, because just because people don't like you doesn't mean that you are in the wrong. Mostly it's the people being in the wrong for not noticing the beauty of other human beings, because otherwise they wouldn't be that mean, telling or calling people names or saying that things in a meanful way, harming other people or also harming the emotions of other people. Just let them be. And yeah, it's also kind of like a call out to everyone: just be like you want to be, because that's important and that's what matters. And if you one day look back on your life and be like, well, what did I do my whole life? And if you notice that you were always someone who you didn't want to be, then is it really a life that was worth living? And from my true heart, I think it is not. So be who you want to be. And if you ever struggle, listen to that song and it will help you. I swear it will help you to get over the feeling of being too much, of being wrong, or being someone other people's don't like, or being someone who doesn't deserve love, because everybody deserves love.
Mhm. I love that whole thing. I try not to cry a little. I and I know a lot of us, we can relate to you in your story. Um, yeah, growing up with self-shame and self-hatred, and the people around us, you know, pounding that into our heads that we're wrong, something's wrong with us, we're different. And it's such an apparent theme in Ghost's music to make sure and double down that we're perfect just the way we are. And it's another reason why I love Mariana Cross. Like, your beauty never scared me, you know? And it's the same in Cerise. And I really love it in that song when he says, I can see through the scars inside you as well.
Yeah.
Um, Such a beautiful song, so haunting. It deserved all the awards. It deserved global success. And yeah, truly a great number one song. And
It,
thank you for sharing that with us.
it is funny story, because I don't want to make anybody cry. Um, I was at a tribute concert on my birthday
Yes.
last year, like the one that Sabrina always visits.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I don't know. Can I say the name?
Yeah, another nameless.
Another Nameless Ghost tribute. Yeah. Um, and I was so desperate for being Cerise. Like, and I made a story, and just said, yeah, that would be the perfect gift for my birthday. And I got Cerise, and Sabrina
Hell yeah.
made a video and sent it to me. And I was like, oh, thank you so much that you made a video, because my friends were so flabbergasted that it happened that they didn't record it. And I was like, oh, thank you for making a video. And honestly, after that, I always said, well, being Cerise must be like a holy experience. After that, I said, I can never experience that with Tobias, because if he does it, you will have to call an ambulance.
Yes.
I was already shaking at the tribute concert, and then I was like, no, you cannot do it. And I love that song and the performance on stage so much that my bestie. I am talking so much about my bestie, but
You love her.
I just love my bestie. Um, yeah, we sat together one weekend and built the wings for me.
Mm.
Yeah. We made a set of wings for me, because I was like, I really want to have them. Can you help me? Because I am not able to do it alone. And we really had a good time building those wings, watching all the chapters and interviews and stuff like that. And then we were, yeah, just well, it took us the whole weekend, like 30 hours or so.
Oh my
Lot,
gosh.
lots of glue, but I still love them and I still wear them.
Oh, I love it. Ghost is such a bonding experience.
It is, it is, it is.
All right. Are there any honorable mentions you want to do? Anything else before we wrap it up?
I guess I did all the honorable mentions already
Yeah,
while we
yeah,
were
we've talked about them all.
talking. Yeah, just saying thank you to all those people in the fandom, to the close fans that I won over Ghost, because really, if you have Ghost, you have everything.
Yep.
Um, and that's the final word, maybe.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm so sorry Sabrina couldn't make it, but I love doing these, and I know I speak for her too. It's just such a blast getting to talk to Ghost fans and getting to know about their journey in life through their top 10 songs. Like everybody's has been different, but there's always an underlying theme, which is why we are Ghost fans. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing it with everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Cool.
I'm sorry, what?